My name is Riley. I'm 29 years old, and this is how I took revenge on the person who crushed my dream. Before I even had a chance to live it. I'm sitting on the edge of a hotel bed in downtown Los Angeles, the kind of suite you only ever see in movies. Tall windows, white linens, and silence that hums like potential. Morning light spills across the nightstand, and right there, half lit in gold, is an invitation to the Grammys. My name is embossed on it. My hand shakes a little as I hold it, not because I'm nervous, but because I still can't believe I made it here. After everything. After the moment I touched that envelope, I'm 17 again. It's my cousin Chelsea's birthday dinner, the kind of over-the-top affair her parents loved to host. White tablecloths, too many forks, and that heavy air of family politics. I remember standing at the table, heart pounding, trying to sound braver than I felt. I had just gotten into Berklee College of Music. It was my dream. I told them, all of them, expecting at least polite smiles. Instead, Chelsea snorted into her wine glass. Music? She said, loud enough to silence everyone. Be serious. You'll never make it. You're not even good. You're just playing pretend, Riley. The room froze. I felt every eye flicker between us. Some pitying, some amused, most just waiting for someone to laugh it off. My face burned. I wanted to disappear into the carpet, but no one defended me. No one said a word. Just the sound of a knife cutting steak somewhere in the distance, and Chelsea grinning like she'd done me a favor. She didn't just doubt me. She humiliated me in front of the people I grew up with. And the worst part, her voice, that sharp, smug tone, got stuck in my head. For years, it played louder than any melody the first tried to write. Every time I hit a wall, every time I second-guessed a lyric or skipped an audition, I heard her. You're not even good. But now, I'm 29. I have a nomination. I have songs on charts. And I'm about to walk into the Grammys, dressed in my own designer gown, name on the guest list, with Chelsea right beside me. In a borrowed dress, Riley grew up in Madison, Wisconsin, in a family that believed in blueprints for success. Her childhood was defined by noise. The clatter of dinner debates, the hum of expectations, the constant comparisons. In her family, success came in the form of law degrees, white coats, summer internships on Capitol Hill, and weddings that required color-coded seating charts. There was a ladder, and everyone was expected to climb it in heels or polished Oxfords. And then there was Riley, the quiet one, the girl with callous fingertips from strumming her guitar in the garage, the one who hummed under her breath during car rides, and stayed up late layering harmonies on GarageBand instead of studying for SATs. In a world of overachievers, Riley was always the exception, never the example. Her cousin Chelsea was the golden child, the one who won science fairs before puberty, quoted political theory at dinner parties, and had a LinkedIn profile before she could legally drive. Chelsea didn't just thrive. She dominated, and the family ate it up. Riley, meanwhile, floated just outside the spotlight, writing lyrics in the margins of her notebooks and pretending not to care. Music wasn't just a hobby, it was her lifeline. Riley didn't speak up much, but when she sang, she felt like she existed in full color. Her voice, soft in conversation, turned fearless in melody. It was the only place she felt untouchable. Her mom supported her gently, in the way someone does when they love you but don't want you to get hurt. She'd say things like, just have a backup plan, Or it's okay to love something without needing to make it a career. Her dad didn't say much at all. His silence always felt louder than her guitar. But her little brother Dylan, he got it. He'd sneak into her room at night just to listen, sitting cross-legged on the floor, eyes wide, telling her she sounded like the girls on the radio. For Riley, Dylan was proof that someone believed in high school. She poured everything into her music. She filled notebooks with lyrics, recorded demos late into the night, and rehearsed original songs in secret. When she got into Berklee College of Music on a partial scholarship, she thought maybe this was her moment. Maybe finally they'd see her. At Chelsea's birthday dinner, her hands trembled under the table as she told the family. She wanted them to be proud. Instead, Chelsea's laughter echoed in her head for years. Music. Be serious. You'll never make it. You're not even good. You're just playing pretend, Riley. That night didn't just hurt. It hollowed her out. She felt stupid for dreaming, ashamed for wanting something different, and most of all, alone. After that, Riley stopped singing when her family was home. She stopped writing in the open. She didn't talk about Berklee again. She deferred her enrollment quietly and never went back. Instead, she enrolled in community college and took a business course, something useful, something quiet. For 2 years, she tried to smother the part of her that sang. But dreams don't die just because you bury them. At night, when the house was quiet, Riley still found herself drawn to her guitar. She'd pick it up like an apology, whisper lyrics into the dark like they were secrets. She wrote about regret, about rage, about the ache of silence. Her voice was raw now, a little broken, but honest, and somehow that made the songs better. She wasn't chasing approval anymore. She was surviving. The music shifted from hope to catharsis. And slowly, Riley began to remember who she was underneath the shame. At 20, Riley's life shifted in a dim, sticky-floored bar in downtown Madison. It wasn't a glamorous venue. The mic was crackly, the beer warm, and the crowd half-interested. But something about the lead singer on that tiny stage struck her like lightning. He wasn't technically great. His voice cracked. His timing faltered. But he sang like every lyric came from his bones. There was something real there, something raw. Riley stood in the middle of that worn-down crowd, heart pounding, and thought, if he gets to tell his story, why don't I? That question burned through her. The next morning, she dropped out of community college without telling anyone. She packed her guitar, her laptop, and the 3 notebooks that held every song she'd written since high school. And she moved to Chicago with $400 in her checking account. It wasn't pretty. She found a studio apartment above a laundromat that smelled like mildew and despair. The radiator clanked like it was haunted, and there were roaches in the kitchen sink. But it was hers. Riley took a job waiting tables at a 24-hour diner and played open mix 3 nights a week. She recorded songs in her bathroom for the acoustics. Cheap mic, single take, raw. There were nights she came home so tired she couldn't speak, but she still picked up her guitar before bed. It was like breathing. Slowly, she began uploading covers and original songs online, starting small, with 10 views, 20, 50. Then, one night, she posted Paper Mirrors, a soft, aching song built from the shards Chelsea's insult had left in her. She didn't expect much, but overnight, the video hit 40,000 views. Her inbox filled with comments. People said they felt seen, that they cried, that they'd been her. It felt like the door cracked open, like maybe the world had room for her after all. But the next day, Chelsea found her way back in. Out of nowhere, Riley got a DM. 2 lines. Asterisk saw your little song. Still clinging to that fantasy. Huh. Asterisk and then, as if to twist the knife, an attachment. A job listing for a dental office assistant. Asterisk thought of you. Asterisk Chelsea added, like it was funny. Like everything Riley had clawed her way toward was still just a joke. That message wrecked her for a week. She didn't post. She didn't sing. She thought about shutting everything down, deleting her accounts, crawling back into invisibility. But then something inside her, the part that used to only whisper, rose up like a flame. This wasn't about music anymore. This was about power, about the years Chelsea made her feel small, ridiculous, broken. Riley didn't want validation. She wanted clarity. She wanted to put every ounce of that pain into something that couldn't be ignored. So, she printed that message. Black ink, big font. She taped it right above her desk, right where she could see it every time she picked up her guitar. Every note she wrote after that carried a little more grit, a little more truth. Because now, she wasn't chasing a dream. She was aiming at something. And for the first time, she didn't feel lost. She felt locked in. The next 5 years weren't magical. They were brutal. Riley clawed her way through the music world with no safety net. No manager, no label, no stylist, no team. Just her guitar, her lyrics, and a spine that somehow kept straight even when everything else around her bent. She waited tables during the day, wrote music at night, and played wherever she could. Basements, dive bars, empty bookstores. She sang in rooms with 5 people, sometimes less. She lugged her amp up flights of stairs only to find the mic didn't work. She once got kicked off a lineup because the booker didn't like girls with guitars. She got ghosted by venues, passed over by cool indie labels, and told more times than she could count that she wasn't marketable. But the thing was, her music kept getting better, sharper, truer. Each rejection, each insult, it fed something. Her songs were no longer just art. They were armor. She wrote like she was bleeding. Truth. Every lyric carried weight. Every melody had teeth. Slowly, painfully, people began to notice. At first, it was just a few fans on Instagram who messaged her lyrics back to her, telling her how a line from a song helped them through a breakup, a panic attack, a funeral. Then came the cover accounts on TikTok, fan art, playlists named after her songs. Everything changed when her haunting, gritty ballad Motel God, written in the parking lot of a roadside motel after her car broke down during a one-show weekend, got picked up for a Netflix teen drama. It played during a gut-wrenching scene, and suddenly, people were searching for her name. Her Spotify plays spiked. Labels started calling. She ignored most of them. She had learned to build without them. And now, she knew what she wanted. That same year, she dropped her first official EP, asterisk uninvited applause asterisk. The title said it all. It was for everyone who clapped only when they were forced to notice her. The EP didn't just resonate. It hit. It charted modestly at first, then climbed. Within months, she booked her first tour. Small venues, but real ones. And to everyone's surprise, including her own, it sold out. City after city, people showed up, knowing every word. Then, like clockwork, Chelsea resurfaced. Riley wasn't surprised. Her phone buzzed with a message that dripped with smug, sugar-coated superiority. Asterisk wow, you're like legit now. Crazy. Proud. Of you. We should hang sometime. LA girls gotta stick together lol. Asterisk Riley stared at the message, thumb hovering. Then she locked her phone without replying. No response was the response, as if the universe wanted to add a poetic stamp to everything. Riley's label. Finally, she'd signed with one on her own terms. Decided to push Paper Mirrors as a single. It had always been a fan favorite. Raw, spare, and aching. Now, it was finding new life on TikTok. Creators started using it in videos about heartbreak, self-doubt, rebirth. It was everywhere. The song that began in her bathroom was suddenly echoing in millions of ears. And then it happened. The Grammy nomination. Best New Artist. Riley was in her apartment. A real one this time, with hardwood floors and working heat. When she got the call, she didn't scream. She didn't dance. She crumpled to the floor and sobbed. The kind of sob where your whole body feels it. She cried for 17-year-old Riley. For every night she went to bed wondering if Chelsea had been right. For every roach she'd killed in that studio apartment. Every empty room she played. Every second she thought of quitting but didn't. And then, in a moment of wild, vindictive clarity, she did something she hadn't planned. She sent Chelsea a formal invitation to the Grammys. As her +1, no note, no caption, just the cold, clean invitation. Embossed, expensive, sealed with gold foil dye. It was a power move. A mirror held up. Asterisk you said I'd never make it. Now you get to watch me from the front row. Asterisk Riley didn't care if Chelsea said yes. The point was made. The point was permanent. She'd taken the thing that almost killed her dream and used it to build an empire. The day of the Grammys arrived like a storm wrapped in glitter. Riley sat in the makeup chair, perfectly still as stylists buzzed around her, fixing a curl, adjusting a cuff, smoothing a seam. Her dress was custom. Her shoes were loaned by a major designer. Her skin glowed under professional lights. An assistant handed her a latte. A rep recited talking points about her EP and politely reminded her not to mention exes. The room was chaotic, electric, but inside, Riley felt still, steady. After everything, there was a strange serenity in knowing she deserved to be here. Chelsea arrived late, of course. She stepped out of the Uber, in a borrowed gown that didn't quite fit, a shade too tight at the waist, a little dated at the neckline. She smiled too wide, waved too much. She looked exactly like someone who didn't belong but desperately wanted to. Her eyes darted around the room like a tourist trying to pass as a local. When she saw Riley, her mouth stretched into a grin. That didn't reach her eyes. You look so different, she said, voice too bright. Like, famous different. Riley smiled politely, her gloss catching the light. Nice to see you, too. In the limo, as they crept through traffic toward the red carpet, Chelsea kept fidgeting with her clutch. She glanced at Riley's reflection in the window. Are you nervous? She asked, trying to sound casual. But Riley could hear the tension underneath. Riley turned to her calmly. No. This is the only room I've ever felt I belonged in. That shut Chelsea up for a while when they stepped onto the carpet. It was like stepping into another universe. Flashbulbs exploded. Photographers yelled Riley's name like it was the only word. They knew. Riley, Riley, this way. She posed. Effortlessly. Years of being overlooked replaced by a moment of absolute visibility. Chelsea tried to linger nearby, drifting into frame like a lost balloon. Riley shifted her body subtly but deliberately, turning away, redirecting the cameras. It wasn't mean. It was elegant, a clean boundary. She'd invite Chelsea to the show, but she wasn't giving her the spotlight. Inside the ceremony, everything sparkled. The chandeliers, the seats, the polished smiles. Riley sat among giants. Artists she'd grown up idolizing were now sharing the air with her. When they called her name during the nomination reel, the cameras panned to her. She smiled, poised, confident. When she didn't win, another name was read. Applause thundered. And yet, Riley didn't shrink. Her smile didn't falter. The camera still lingered. Her name had been spoken on that stage. Her song had been heard. She had made it here. In Chelsea, she clapped stiffly, eyes darting from screen to cousin. There was a silence between them on the way back, the limo now a little too quiet. The city lights flashed past the windows as Chelsea finally exhaled and said, "Was this all about proving me wrong?" Riley turned to her slowly, face unreadable. Her voice was calm, cold, even. "No," she said. "It was about proving myself, right? But dragging you along was just a bonus." Chelsea blinked. No comeback. And for once, Riley didn't wait for one. After the Grammys, everything shifted. Riley's name wasn't just known, it was everywhere. Streams of her old songs surged. Overnight, climbing charts they'd barely grazed before. New fans flooded her socials, commenting on lyrics they said saved them, tagging tattoos of her words, covering her songs on rooftops and in bedrooms across the world. Music blogs dissected her metaphors. Fashion outlets praised her red carpet look. Her inbox turned into a flood of offers. Brand deals, headline festival slots, talk shows. She signed onto her first international tour, a 15-country whirlwind that would take her from Paris to Sao Paulo to Tokyo, somewhere between sound checks and photo shoots. Rolling Stone reached out. They wanted a feature. Riley agreed, part of her still stunned by how normal that sounded now. During the interview, they asked about Paper Mirrors, the song that started it all. She hesitated just a moment before answering. "It was written after someone I trusted told me I'd never make it," she said simply. "It was the first time I realized I didn't need anyone's permission to be loud." She didn't name Chelsea. Didn't need to. The internet figured it out within hours. The quote went viral. Tweets, TikToks, side-by-side comparisons of young Riley and Grammy-nominated Riley. Think pieces on family betrayal. People loved the poetry of it all. Chelsea saw it. She sent a long message. Paragraphs this time. Rambling. Apologetic. Something about being young, about how jealousy had poisoned her. She said she was proud of Riley now, that she always knew she had talent, deep down. Riley read it once, then typed her reply carefully. "You were right about one thing. I made it. Just not the way you imagined." Then she blocked the number. She didn't feel cruel. She felt clean. These days, Riley writes differently. Her voice is bolder. Her melodies brighter. There's a fearlessness to her new work that didn't exist before, like she's finally writing from the inside out. Her latest album is called ** Unspoken Crowds *. Critics call it revolutionary. Fans call it theirs. And inside the liner notes, printed in small, elegant type, is one line. * for the girl who was told to stay quiet. She sang anyway. * the hotel room is quiet now. The chaos of the night, the cameras, the red carpet, the speeches, has faded into memory. Riley sits cross-legged on the edge of the bed, makeup wiped clean, hair pinned silly back, barefoot in an oversized hoodie. The Grammy after-party glitter still lingers faintly on her skin, but her eyes are somewhere else. She hums a melody under her breath, soft and unfinished, fingers tapping rhythm on her thigh as she scribbles lines in a battered notebook. The city glows outside the window, but she's not looking at it. She's inside the moment, the kind she used to dream about in that Rochi studio apartment, back when she had no label, no tour, no applause, just pain, hope, and a voice. She pauses mid-verse and looks up, turning slowly toward the camera, calm, steady, certain. My name is Riley. I'm 29 years old, and the cousin who said I'd never make it in music just watched me walk into the Grammys. With her name nowhere near the guest list, she gives a small, knowing smile. There's no bitterness in it, just truth. Revenge doesn't always need fire. Sometimes, all it needs is a stage. She looks back down at her notebook, the melody starting again on her lips. Fade to black.